Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Have you ever felt like the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders? Like no one sees your struggle, and even the smallest step forward feels impossible? In those moments when hope fades and silence grows louder, remember this: you are not alone. This video is for you, the one who's tired, confused, lost, yet still holding on. Stay with us as we uncover 7 powerful truths that may not change your circumstances overnight, but they just might change you. Because sometimes, all we need is a voice to say, "Keep going, you're stronger than you think." Life is not a smooth, straight line. It is like a vast ocean, sometimes calm, but there are times it roars with violent waves. Each of us, at least once in our lives, will go through difficult moments, dead ends that seem to have no escape. In those times, advice from experienced individuals, the philosophies of life distilled through the years, will feel like a life buoy for our souls. Below are 7 important things you should remember and ponder every time life feels tiring and heavy. 1. Everything will pass. No storm lasts forever. Life is a cycle of alternation. Day then night, summer then winter, prosperity then decline. No joy lasts forever, and no pain exists eternally. When you find yourself in a deadlock, remember, everything will pass. In pain, it often feels eternal. But if you look back on the past, how many times have you cried, thought you wouldn't get through it, yet here you are, more resilient, stronger. Yesterday's sorrow turns out to be just a chapter in the novel of life. For instance, think of those who have experienced great loss, losing a job, losing loved ones, or the breakdown of relationships. In that moment, they might feel like their world is collapsing. But time does not stop, and each passing day, that wound gradually heals, though it may leave a scar, but a scar of maturity. Psychology calls this phenomenon emotional adaptation. The human capacity to recover mood remarkably after events. Just like the sun will rise again after the storm, the human spirit will also find light after going through darkness. So, be patient with yourself. Don't rush yourself to be okay instantly. Trust, everything will pass and you are not alone on that journey. There are days you just want to disappear. But remember, even the fiercest storm will eventually subside. The sky will clear, and you will be okay. When life knocks us down with unexpected blows, losing a job, breaking up, failures, or unnameable wounds, we often feel like we are drifting in a storm with no escape. The sky seems to collapse. The mind feels submerged in darkness. And the scariest thing is not the pain, but the feeling that it will never end. But dear friend, remember one simple yet incredibly important thing. No storm lasts forever. Look back on your life. Haven't there been times you thought you wouldn't make it through? Yet here you are, still breathing, still moving forward, still you, and even stronger than before. The storm within the soul is like the weather. It comes, then goes, not because you can control it, but because the nature of all emotions, all suffering is, it comes and goes. Time has a magical power. It heals what the mind cannot explain. One of the most beautiful images of this is the hourglass. As the grains of sand fall, bit by bit, you may feel like your sorrow will never run out. But as each second passes, each moment goes by, you will see the last grain of sand will fall. And when it falls, a new beginning begins. Let your heart rest. Let the tears fall without judging yourself. Because each tear is a step towards purification. It is a part of the healing process. In Japanese culture, there is an art called kintsugi, where people use gold to mend broken pottery. The cracks are not hidden but highlighted with gleaming gold, because it is believed that the place of pain is also where the most brilliance shines. You are the same. The cracks within you do not make you weak. They make you more human, deeper, and more beautiful. One day, when you have weathered the storm, you will look back and say, "I can't believe I made it through, but I did." And at that moment, the pain will turn into a memory, and the memory will become strength. If today you are in the storm, take a deep breath. Close your eyes and tell yourself, "I don't need to be okay right now, but I know that everything will pass. I will not be swept away. I will not fall. I will rise, and the sky will clear again." 2. You are much stronger than you think. There is a silent strength within each person. It doesn't reveal itself when everything goes smoothly, but only manifests in crisis. The times you feel weak are actually when you are building the foundation of your inner strength. Have you ever overcome a seemingly impossible phase? Perhaps it was when you were betrayed, deceived, trapped financially, physically, or mentally. Yet here you are, reading these lines. That proves you are stronger than you think. Neuroscience shows the human brain has the ability to adapt and restructure after trauma. This process is called neuroplasticity, meaning the brain can learn how to recover on its own, and not just the brain. Your heart and soul can do the same. For example, Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years in a dark cell. People thought he would crumble. But when he walked out, he not only forgave his captors, but also became a symbol of reconciliation for an entire nation. True strength is not about never shedding tears, but continuing despite tear-filled eyes. Every time you don't give up, you are reinforcing your inner strength. Believe that within you is a flame. Though small, it never goes out. Strength is not about never falling, but about standing up every time you do, with eyes still bright and a heart that doesn't extinguish. There is a strange thing about life. You will never realize how strong you are until being strong is the only choice. We often underestimate ourselves. When misfortune strikes, when everything seems out of control, we tend to ask ourselves, "Can I get through this?" But it is in the darkest moments that your true self emerges. It is not the fragile or weak version you imagined, but a silent warrior, more resilient than you can imagine. Have you ever realized, no matter how much pain you endure, how many times you seem to fall, you still continue to live? Still waking up every morning, still facing life, even with an aching heart? That is resilience. Strength is not always loud. It is not about cheers or spotlight. Sometimes strength is the silence of someone who endures without complaining. It is someone who keeps going, even with bloodied feet. Your story, your journey, despite the many scars, is proof of one thing. You have weathered storms, and you will continue to do so. Remember, scars do not make you ugly. They are testimonies of courage. And sometimes, you just need to stop. Look in the mirror, gaze deeply into your own eyes and say, "I have come further than I think. I am stronger than I thought. And I am still moving forward." Believe in the strength within you, for it has been there since the day you were born. You just forgot how wonderful it truly is. 3. Current difficulties are tests to help you grow. Challenges are not meant to destroy you, but to train you to be a stronger version of yourself. Difficulties are like the fire that tempers steel, painful, burning, but necessary to become strong. No one grows from comfort and ease. Look back at anyone successful, from great entrepreneurs to thinkers. They all go through a phase of hard training. For example, Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he founded, but he did not give up. He used that time to create Next, Pixar, and ultimately return to Apple, sparking a global technological revolution. Difficulties are the harshest teachers, but also the most honest. They teach us humility, patience, resilience, and insight. Sometimes failure is not the end. It is a draft for a greater beginning. View today's challenges as tests. not to eliminate you, but to help you surpass yourself. Life doesn't throw difficulties at you to make you fall, but to help you discover a stronger and wiser version of yourself within. Look back at the life you've lived. Are the most painful stages, actually, the ones where you change the most? Difficulties and adversities are not enemies. On the contrary, they are strict but silent teachers, always pushing you out of your comfort zone to learn what ease never teaches you. In your most stuck moments, you learn patience. In loss, you learn to cherish. When betrayed, you learn to choose whom to trust. And when you fall, you learn to get back up, even with scraped hands and a bleeding heart. Don't ask why this is happening to you. Ask, what lesson does this want to teach me? Like the process of forging steel, metal that wants to be strong must go through the red-hot fire. A soul that wants to be strong must go through hardships. There is no mature soul that hasn't experienced. And you, right now, are gradually becoming a better version of yourself, even if you don't realize it. Every difficulty is a test, and your continuing to move forward is proof that you are gradually overcoming it, not as a victim, but as a growing warrior. Believe that life did not place you in that situation by accident. It wants you to learn something. It wants you to be stronger. It wants you to find a deeper self within you. And one day, you will look back and smile. It is thanks to those days that I became who I am today. 4. Comparison is the poison that kills joy. Comparing yourself to others is the shortest path to pain. When we see someone more successful, happier, richer, we easily fall into feelings of lack and insecurity. But the truth is, each person is on a different journey. You are in chapter 3 of your life. Why compare with someone in chapter 20? Comparison makes you forget your own value. Each flower has its own season to bloom. Peach blossoms in spring, flamboyant flowers in summer. Don't force yourself to bloom before the time is right. A practical example, some succeed at 25, others at 45. Colonel Sanders founded KFC when he was over 60. Abraham Lincoln failed many times before becoming the President of the United States. So, walk your own path, at your own pace. Joy does not lie in being better than others, but in being better than your yesterday's self. Instead of comparing, be grateful. The more grateful you are, the more you will realize. You already have many precious things in your hands. The lotus blooms in summer, the peach blossom blooms in spring. Each flower has its own glorious moment. Your life is the same. In the age of social media, where people flaunt happiness like an underground competition, it's easy to fall into the dangerous trap of comparison. That person has a luxury house and car. The other has a brilliant career. You look back at yourself and feel anxious, disadvantaged. But dear one, you are comparing their stage with your life's backstage. Comparison not only steals your present joy, but also blinds you to the good things you have. It's like holding a beautiful flower in your hand, but constantly looking back at someone else's garden. Eventually, you neglect the beauty in your hand without realizing it. Each person is on their own journey. Those who go fast aren't necessarily going far. Those who shine early may not last long. Life is not a race to see who reaches the finish line first, but a journey of who can maintain peace and awareness longer. Comparison is the thief that steals happiness. That saying is not wrong. True happiness does not lie in whether you are better than others, but in whether you can love yourself fully, completely, no matter how others are living. So, return to yourself. Ask, have I lived true to myself today? Instead of looking around to measure, look within, to be grateful and grow. Because you were not born to be a copy of anyone else. You were born to be yourself, unique, one of a kind, and full of value. 5. You don't need to have all the answers right away. In moments of confusion and despair, the mind often gets caught up in a storm of thoughts. What should I do now? Why is this happening? Will I be able to overcome this? The truth is, you don't need to have all the answers immediately. Modern humans are often obsessed with control. We want to understand everything, make perfect plans, and find solutions to every problem. But life does not operate like a math problem with a predetermined answer. Sometimes the best thing you can do is pause, to breathe, to feel, and to let time guide you. For example, think of a person who is lost in the woods. If they panic and run aimlessly, they are more likely to delve deeper into the maze. But if they stop, observe the signs, listen to the sounds, they may find a way out. Similarly, in life, there are periods when you need more patience and trust than blind action. Big questions do not always have immediate answers. Sometimes they require time for you to grow and become deep enough to understand. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." Therefore, you don't need to force yourself to solve everything at once. Give yourself kindness. Give yourself silence. Sometimes, silence is the most valuable answer. Life is a long journey, not a race to find answers to everything. In the modern world, where everything happens at a breathtaking pace, we often feel pressured to have answers to all problems immediately. We want to resolve everything right now, from work, relationships, to the big questions of life. But in reality, nothing is perfect right away. In fact, the biggest answers in life often come not from haste, but from time, reflection, and patience. Imagine you are standing on a mountain, unable to see the entire valley below due to a thick curtain of fog. You can only see clearly one step at a time, and life is the same. Every answer is a small step, a piece of the puzzle that you can only gather when you allow yourself to listen, learn, and be patient. When you are not in a hurry to seek every answer, you will realize that it is in those uncertain moments that you discover your inner strength. We are not machines programmed to have answers ready. We are human beings, and ambiguity is an essential part of growth. So don't worry when you don't have all the answers immediately. Trust the process. Trust your own journey of discovery. And remember, every answer will come. 6. Happiness is not a destination, but a journey. Many people attach happiness to a condition. When I am wealthy, I will be happy. When I have a partner, I will be happy. When everything is stable, I will be happy. But life does not have such a perfect moment. And the sad thing is, if you keep waiting to be happy, you might wait forever. Happiness is not found at the destination, but on the journey of living each day. It is the cup of coffee in the morning. It is the moment the wind gently blows through the window. It is the laughter of loved ones. It is the fact that you are alive, breathing, continuing on. Think of a mountain climber. If they focus only on the summit, they will miss the beauty of the forest, the stream, the sunlight filtering through the leaves. Life is the same. The greatest beauty is not at the end point, but in every step you take, every emotion you feel. A simple yet profound example is the story of a woman who once overcame cancer. When reporters asked her what was most valuable in her recovery journey, she didn't talk about the moment she was declared healed by the doctor. She spoke about the days spent sitting in the garden, soaking in the sunlight, conversing with her daughter, listening to the birds sing, the small things she had overlooked before. So don't wait until things are right to live happily. Find happiness in every breath, in every simple thing. The journey itself is the gift. Happiness is not a destination for you to rush towards. Happiness is the moments you fully live in each step of life. In modern society, we often get caught up in the relentless race to achieve grand goals, to reach the happiness we imagine will be perfection, the pinnacle of life. But the truth is, happiness is not a fixed destination you can reach, but a state of emotion created through your daily journey of living. Imagine that you are standing at a crossroads, where each path leads to a different outcome. If you only focus on the final goal, you will miss out on all the wonderful, interesting, and meaningful things happening along the journey. Happiness, therefore, is not something distant, but the way you experience each step, whether it is the little joys or the tough challenges. We all tend to seek happiness in great successes, a new job, a new relationship, or even a distant trip. But true happiness lies in the moments you enjoy breakfast, chat with friends, or feel the cool breeze on a peaceful afternoon. Happiness is the journey of enjoyment, of feeling, and appreciating the present moments, not the results you achieve after a long race. So instead of chasing a future you think brings happiness, try to pause and reassess the joyful moments right today. Happiness is each step on the path, not the final destination. 7. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Even if you can't see it right now, when you are in the midst of a storm, everything around you may be pitch dark. It's like going through a long tunnel. Sometimes you see no light at all. But that light is still at the end. It's just that you can't see it at this moment. Life has such phases, vague, exhausting, precarious. But don't let the dark moments trick you into thinking they will last forever. In reality, every tunnel has an exit. Those who have experienced severe depression, who wanted to give up everything, if you ask them after overcoming it, they often say, "I am grateful that I did not give in," because behind that, they found new meaning, new people, new goals. For example, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, once lived in poverty, suffered from severe depression, and thought about death many times, but she continued writing bit by bit. And the light at the end of the tunnel came. Not just success, but a spiritual revival. Remember, if you are still moving, the light will come. It doesn't come in a loud way. Sometimes it's just a glimmer of hope, a friend who understands you, a small opportunity, a fleeting idea. That light always exists, and you deserve to step towards it. Every challenge in life is an opportunity for you to find new strength. No matter how dark the present is, believe that light will appear when you persist and move forward. Life is not always easy. Sometimes we feel as if we are lost in a dark tunnel, where everything is vague and the future is unclear. At these times, it seems that every effort is in vain, and the light at the end of the road feels unattainable. But remember, the light is always present, even if you may not see it right now. Difficult moments, be it a breakup, a failure at work, or a mental shock, can make you feel like you cannot overcome. However, like fog obscuring the sky, they do not last forever. Time will help you see the glimmering light from the end of the tunnel, and you will realize that patience and belief in yourself are the keys to finding that light. Sometimes it is during the darkest phases that people find there is an inner strength they never knew existed. You will be surprised by your ability to overcome challenges if you only persevere and do not give up. It is in difficult times that you learn valuable lessons about resilience, strength, and the ability to stand up after every fall. Believe that even if you cannot see the destination right now, the light will come as you continue to move forward. Every step you take, whether small or large, is a part of the journey toward the light. Conclusion: life is a long and challenging journey. No one can avoid difficulties, dark moments, or sudden storms. But it is during those times that we learn so much about ourselves and the world around us. The 7 reminders above are seeds of hope that help you maintain faith in yourself, in the future, and in the endless possibilities you have yet to discover. When things seem hopeless, remember that no storm lasts forever, and you are much stronger than you think. Do not let current challenges make you doubt your ability to overcome them. Remember that each difficulty is an opportunity for you to grow and become stronger, and that happiness is not a destination, but the journey you are on. Do not compare yourself to others, as your life is unique, and its value cannot be measured by any other person's standards. And most importantly, always believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel, even if you do not see it right now. Perseverance and faith will lead you to brighter days, and your life will become rich, meaningful, and full of happiness. Live each day with the belief that the future will always be better, because you deserve all the best that life has to offer. Thank you for spending these moments with us. If this video brought you peace or strength, consider subscribing, sharing, because you never know who else needs to hear this too. Until next time, be kind to yourself and keep going.